Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live chat with New York Times and USA Today bestselling author Lori Foster. Lori, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you
It's
for
great to have you here.
that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Today we're discussing Lori's new release, No Limits, which is the first novel in her Ultimate series. It's a really fun, sexy, edgy read, and it's mixed martial arts alpha heroes and lots of steamy romance. Um, and we also have some exciting promos to talk about. You can enjoy No Limits in ebook format provided by Bookshow at a special price for BookTrib members. And for a direct link, you can text BookTrib to 67076. And this discount is available for a limited time, so definitely take advantage. Um, to our viewers, we're also giving away hard copies of the book and some special Lori Foster mixed martial arts themed goodies. So hop on over to BookTrib after the chat and enter to win. Very exciting stuff. So Lori, can you start off by telling us a little bit about No Limits?
Sure. No Limits is the first in the my book, because I love the cover. I got to show that off again. It's the first in the new Ultimate series, and there's MMA fighters as the heroes. It's a really fun, macho cast of guys. Anyone who's already read the book knows that the secondary characters are a hoot in this one. Very funny, very charismatic, very guy-type guys. And there's not a lot of actual fighting in the book. It's more about a fighter finding romance, falling in love, and fitting that into his regimen of diet and training, travel, and competition that's necessary.
Excellent. So there was a prequel to the series. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Hard Enough. That was Gage and Harper. And Harlequin had asked me to do sort of an introduction to, because this series branches off a little bit from Love Undercover. And we wanted to do like a little bridge so that people could see exactly where I was going with it and the direction that it would be. And I had just a short story idea for one of the characters, so it was perfect for the short format. I didn't have a ton of backstory or an enormous plot to go with it. So it worked out really well for the shorter digital development. Gage was supposed to fight, got hurt, and ended up coming back home. And the lady that he thought he would just reconnect with, pretty burned that he'd left without cementing their relationship, and then was just out of touch because he was so busy concentrating on his big opportunity. And it was losing that opportunity that made him realize he could possibly lose two opportunities. You know, one for his first fight with a big organization, and the other was he realizes that he loves someone else with. So he had some quick scrambling and prioritizing.
Awesome. Alexis has a question about reviews. She says the reviews for No Limits have been through the roof, and she says, are you always surprised that your books are doing so well and that people love them?
I'm always surprised and extremely pleased when readers enjoy my book.
Yeah.
What always surprises
Oh, I think we lost her for a minute. Let's see. Everybody hold tight while Lori's in space. She'll be back. Oh, let's see. We'll get this straightened out. Just hang on one sec. So basically, I'm going to take this time to remind you that we're doing an ebook promo. So it's provided by Bookshout. So check it out after the chat. She's back.
I'm sorry, what happened? I was talking and talking. I don't even know what the question was. But all of a sudden, it's there anymore. about that.
No problem.
I don't,
It was the
I
one
don't know
about the
what.
reviews.
Let's just sum it up by saying I'm always thrilled that readers like the book, and usually what's entertaining is that what I like the most about a book is never what the readers like the most. So that's always a lot of fun when I read the reviews and someone does little, quotes or paragraphs from their favorite parts, and it's always very different from my favorite. It's always fun.
Awesome. Thank you. We're glad to have you back. Um, so Joanne has a question. She said, "Did your obsession with UFC influence the way that you wrote No Limits?"
Well, I'm sure it influenced my perspective on the sport because I love the sport a lot, and I know what I like
Hmm.
the most about the fighters. I'm sure there's good and bad in every human being on this earth, but I tend to focus
Hmm.
on the good that I like in them. So I'm sure in that way it influenced. I don't get into the nitty gritty so much. What some of the guys probably go through and the downside of being a professional athlete. Sort of focus on all the upside and the fun stuff. So in that way, I'm sure it did.
Hmm. Oh, we have a good one. It's about crossover characters, which I find really interesting in your books. Sammy says, "You have a lot of crossover characters in your novels, from series to series. How do you keep track of them? And do you have a binder full of notes, or do you kind of just go with the flow and have the character kind of write the story for you?"
Well, my main characters write the story for me, but to keep track of secondary
Hmm.
characters, I have binders upon binders. And I also have a lot of digital files, and I usually have those opened up as I'm writing. So, like I had the
Hmm.
Love Undercover character sheet opened up while I was writing Cannon's book because some of those characters crossed over. And then I also had my character sheet for all of the characters for the new Ultimate series. And as I learn things about them, like car they drive or the color of their eyes,
Hmm.
because there's so many secondary characters that show up, I would quickly forget,
Yeah.
what they look like and all the little details. So as the characters introduce themselves and tell me about themselves, I add it to my digital file and my written file, and I writing. I have those notes open. So I don't lose track of them.
Yeah.
I
That's
do. I have a
incredible.
lot
I
of
couldn't.
characters.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Alexis wants to know, is there a line that sticks out to you in No Limits? Or she wants to know, once you write it, do you kind of forget your favorite line, or does it stick out to you?
This goes back to the reviews. I have favorite lines, and usually by the time the book is out and they're doing reviews, I've already written another book and a half. So I will
Hmm.
forget it, but then I'll see one of the lines in a review, and I'll crack up and think, "Oh yeah, I love that line." So,
Yeah.
and Cannon's book, I remember Cannon was kind of doing a very out of characteristic thing for him, just really fiending for Yvette in a kind of a
Hmm.
caveman way. And I don't remember exactly how it went, but I knew Army was telling him. Army's my favorite secondary character ever. He's a hoot. And he was telling Cannon to calm down. He said, "You're making me nervous, and you don't want to blank me." He could only imagine how Yvette felt because he knew that Cannon was all about getting Yvette. So he was more or less really on the edge with love. So that was a fun conversation. Just about every conversation.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of canon, we have, how does one come up with the name Canon Colter? It's one I've never heard before.
The way that I come up with most of the names is I stalk Facebook and I see a first name that I like and I see a last name that I like and I piece them together. Now I would never steal a first and a last name from one of my readers. Like on my
Yeah.
Facebook page, I'm always taking a first name and a last name and piecing them together so that my readers are unwittingly involved in that process.
Right.
And that's how I come up with most. Anytime I need a name, I just go and I look and pick something else that works. And I think I actually saw that name Cannon, and that's a great
It's
name.
a
And
fantastic name.
somewhere on Facebook, it is.
Tell us a little bit about Army, your favorite character. Why is he your favorite?
Because he's insanely outrageous. He really does what he wants to do and however he wants to do it. But he has
Hmm.
a very dark past, and there's reason for the things that he does and the reason that he is the way he is. A lot of people really
Awesome.
wanted his book to be next, but I'm pretty sure, I'm sure that Army will be last. I've already written Denver, ready to start on track. The Army will be last because he has a lot of unveiling and growing and getting himself settled down.
That's interesting. Your characters don't pop up as the front and center character until they're kind of fully developed and ready to make their appearance. Very
So they
cool.
say, hey, it's my turn.
Yeah, exactly. They speak up. Let's see. Tony wants to know, what is your favorite book or author? That's a tough one.
It
Or
is
maybe
a tough
top
one.
five. Yeah.
Favorite author is
Mhm.
not romance, it's young adult, Katie McGarry. I think she just has a phenomenal amount of talent. I'm totally in love with her character. The last book especially was absolutely take me on. I'm not good at
Mhm.
remembering titles. But it was also an MMA fighter, but a young fighter, younger guy. You know, lady that was that she has a phenomenal way of making you know the characters, and also very much enjoy reading Bill Robertson's book, Leslie Cole. And there's quite a few. I have quite a few favorites.
Mhm. Sammy has a question about your playlists. She says, while writing No Limits, did you listen to the same playlist you had with previous novels?
I'm always adding to it. I just discovered the Congos, and I'm only joking and war or two playlists I could listen to all day long. Pretty Reckless are new with this series.
Ah.
So while I add to my playlist, and there are
Mhm.
some favorites, there's a lot of corn favorites and a lot of Kid Rock favorites that I keep on my playlist. Others I cycle off as I add for
Yeah. Um, Beth wants to know, who would you get in the entertainment world to play Canon Colter and Yvette? We can't forget about her. If No Limits were made into a movie.
oh, to dream the impossible dream. I'm not good with that because I never can remember. I love to go to movies and I go often, but I can never remember characters' names. Um,
Mhm.
and Reynolds would always be good for any character. He'd need a little bit darker
Mhm.
hair, but he sure got the body to pull it off. Any older
Yeah.
character with Timothy Oliphant, I'm in love with him. Emma Stone, I like for a lot
Ah.
of female characters, but she doesn't have the dark hair that she would need for that. Um, what was the girl's name? Val, V-A-U, her name,
Mm.
played in the Terminator movie.
Yeah.
Looks like she could
Awesome.
be a good guy.
Yeah. I love Emma Stone.
Oh, I
Um,
do too. Thank you.
she's adorable. She really is. Uh, I was actually wondering, along with like film and movie questions. So I saw your trailer for No Limits, which is very enjoyable.
Yes, thank
Do
you.
you have any say in the trailers? Do you kind of, I think they're so interesting. It's such a big thing these days.
I have
So do you
all the
have any?
say in the trailer because I actually do those myself. And Onion Creek Productions does the trailers. They're just phenomenal. They do an excellent job with it. And
Excellent.
it's funny that they'll send me the interviews of the different characters, and I sort of and tell them which one I like best. I
Mhm.
always crack up. It's very difficult for me to watch guys and just
Huh.
out of the blue pretend to be mad or pretend to have a drink or reenact a love
Yeah.
scene just to see if they can act or not, and I crack up the entire time. One of my I have great respect for actors and actresses. That must be one of the hardest things. But one of my requirements is always that the men have chest hair. And models
Mhm.
these days just do not want to have chest hair for some reason. They're all split at the bottom. So we finally found the guy that I really liked to play Cannon, but he didn't
Mhm.
have chest hair. So they had to use a hair pin. It was really neat how they did it, and they put hair on his chest. So it looks very
Oh my
authentic.
gosh.
It looks real, but it's not his. He was able to go wash that
That's
right
so
back off.
funny. Chest hair required on all Lori Foster novels. You heard it
Well, because
first.
anyone that reads me, I don't write guys that say good stuff. They're busy doing
I
really
know.
important things.
Sammy has an interesting question from some of your past books. She says, how has your writing changed or evolved from when you wrote books like Murphy's Law or The Secret Life of Brian?
Well, I think I'm a better writer. Hopefully, I become a better writer with each book that I write. I think I get more confident so that I go more into that and see what I want to do instead of wondering, publishers going to have a problem with this, our readers going to enjoy this. Now my biggest focus is I'm hope everybody. So I think in that way it's changed. It's more me, 100% me, and what I want to write. And I think possibly a little bit more violent. And I sort of like violence. I like my bad guys.
Awesome.
So still within a romance umbrella, but I feel a little.
How do you think your characters are different? Do you think there's like a big difference in the way you write your characters or the process even?
No, I pretty much always just been a seat in my pants writer. So I sit down and I start writing and however it comes out, and the characters sort of tell me along the way what they want to do and what they don't want to do. And I don't really believe in writer's block. I think if suddenly I'm feeling stuck, it's because I tried to force the characters to go in a direction they didn't want to go. So I'll get up and let them pass out or do a little laundry or make a. When they come back, they'll say, okay, this is what you should have done. And then, this time of year it's great. I'll go out and take a long CD ride while I'm out on the sea.
Awesome. Heidi has questions about Canon and Yvette's best personality traits and physical traits.
I think Yvette says that she's very humble. She's not worried about always having her makeup just right or her hair just right. Or just that she's presentable without trying to throw it out there and draw extra. And that would be physical animal. And then with Cannon, I think Cannon's just an extremely genuine guy. He honestly cares about everyone. He doesn't have to work at that. It's just a natural part of him. He's helpful to care, try to do the right thing. Part and parcel with him. He's also got a really, really good body, a lot of confidence. So that probably makes it a little easier also.
Excellent answer. Angela wants the scoop on how many more books will be in the Ultimate series. She's curious.
Well, I know for sure that Denver's is next. Denver and Cherry do get together, and theirs is next. It's called Holding Strong, and it'll be out in, I think, April. I'm actually going to very light line edits on it. And like I said, next I will start Backstory. That will be that because that comes out in Denver. And after that, I'm going to do Army. But there's been a few secondary characters that have popped up that I'm not sure yet, but I'm thinking they get their own book. Rand is a character, and character. So they may or they may not. But at this point, it feels like they might. So I don't know. And I know for sure there will be 4 plus the digital novella.
Jackie has a question about your writing process. She actually calls it your writing regime. She says, what's your writing regime look like? Are there days where you don't feel like writing?
There is never a day when I don't feel like writing. There are days when I don't get a chance to write. There are days when I am lose my priority. So if the priority is that my at school, I will go to bed. If the priority is that I have to go get because I've got a book signing coming up, I'll go do that. You guys wouldn't even want to see me looking as I look, sitting here at the lake. I even fixed my hair a little bit for you today. I just knocked my headphone out. So yeah, I sit here at the lake looking pretty rough sometimes. So I wouldn't want to step in and that. But overall, I get up very early, 4:30. 4:30 occasionally as late as 5. And let the dog out, let the pass out, get my coffee going, answer emails and online stuff. Will reread whatever I had written the day before, kind of get me back in the flow. So if I wrote 15 pages a day before, I'll read the last 4, just to get me back into flow. Whatever interruptions come along during the day, I never tell people. Family calls, the kids call, the grandson calls, whatever, you can get in touch with. I play very loud music while I write.
Yeah.
As done as I can.
That's dedication. 4 o'clock.
It's also a lot of fun. I think I'm just a natural early riser these days. I don't know why. My husband used to work and he would get in at that time, and I think I just gotten into that pattern. An old dog.
Catherine has a question about your sex scenes. She says you write some great sexual tension. Would you ever write an erotic novel?
I never ever say never. Because, a year from now or 5 years from now or 10 years if I'm not too old, who knows. But as of right now, I have no interest in doing that. I very much enjoy just writing stories where they fall in love and get married, and kind of the belief that, as they call it, vanilla sex, regular old vanilla sex. Love is pretty spectacular all on its own. And so while the characters might do a little bit of fun stuff, I don't know that I would ever go into erotica these days. Kind of falls in with exhibitionist, that kind of thing. So that's not really the path I'd want to go. Nothing against it. It's just not what I would be comfortable with.
Right. I hear ya. Lana wants to know, when and where is your next book signing?
Oh, the next book signing is at the Barnes & Noble in Westchester, Ohio, on the streets of Westchester. It's the same Barnes & Noble that sponsors Get Together, and it will be Saturday. Let me glance at my calendar from 1 to 3. This coming up Saturday, and then the Saturday after that, on the 13th, I'll be at the Nora Roberts store, Turn the Page, from 12 to 4. Sorry, I had 12 to 4. So the next 2 Saturdays in a row, one in Westchester, Ohio, and the other one at the North Roberts. And those are on my website under.
Check it out, guys. If you are in the area, absolutely head over there. Angela wants to know, did you do any mixed martial arts prior to writing the novel, or any research on the topic? Or both?
I do tons of research all the time. Constantly researching. It's really tough. I go to local MMA events. That's my idea of research. I go to UFC whenever it gets close enough. I have interviewed fighters. Talk to them online and questions. Attended a few after parties to see how that worked out, because that's written. I don't do any MMA. I'm an old trail lady. Somewhere in there. And I'm not interested in getting my butt kicked. But I do talk to a lot of fighters. A lot of the I went to a local gym.
Oh, neat.
Figure out how that regimen. So, what I try to do with research is I always go and glom stuff so that it's in my head, and then I try to write out. I feel like if I try to get too many details lined up beforehand, and I already feel like I've written a book, and then I'm bored. So if I just kind of try to get a big overview where I feel comfortable with the topic, and then if something comes up that I don't know, I look it up. I take notes.
Cool. That sounds like fun research, going to hang out with UFC fighters. What was your favorite part of the book? Yes. Caitlin wants to know, what was your favorite part of the book to write, and did you also have a part that was the hardest to write?
The endings are always the hardest for me. I don't know why. I have a terrible time finding that really good last paragraph and last line. So those, I always angst over those the most, and they seem to take me the absolute longest to figure that part out. any of the scenes that make me laugh. There were several in this book that I cracked my way up while writing. Scene where that goes at a little local, like where I live, we still have little video stores. There's several in the area. Everybody else uses Netflix. We don't. Some kind of. We went to what was always the video store without realizing it. I don't army kind of packaging. That was a really fun thing to write out. And if anyone has read the book and liked that, let me know. Or when you read the book and get it, let me know if that was a thing.
Awesome. Let's see, what do we have here? Are you currently reading any books right now? From Michael.
I just finished Jill Salvis's last one. I have not yet started a new
Ah,
right now.
excellent.
I didn't pick up anything else to read because I'm Denver. Otherwise, I probably would have. But it's really difficult for me to get in the mindset of my own book, checking for errors and whatnot, and then to read something else.
Caitlin has a question about your bloggers, and she says, why do you think doing giveaways with bloggers is important?
I think doing giveaways with anyone is important. Bloggers have
right?
bloggers have a unique opportunity to reach out to their own followers who may not necessarily be my followers, which in turn may turn someone on to the book. But I give away a lot of stuff on my Facebook page. I feel like readers invest their time and energy in me. What I can do is pay that back some. I can't give away a ton of books, and publisher wouldn't expect. So I try to give away other. I do give away, author copies of it, but I try to give away pads and books and tote bags and tons of t-shirts. So I like to do those things. I feel like it's those are readers that I care about them.
We love doing giveaways. Giveaways are fun. I work closely with some of the bloggers for your blog tour, and they get so excited about your books. Like 2 months ahead of the new book, they're like, "Is her book out?" They're emailing. They're like, when I send the email out about it, they're like, "Oh, she made my weekend. Like, I'm so happy. Can't wait to see the new cover." They're the best. They're so enthusiastic.
So
yeah, right.
It goes full circle now.
Yeah, they're awesome. Let's see. Which one of your books do you think would make the best movie? From Amanda.
I think When You Dare would probably make a good movie. It was part of the Man Who Walked the Edge of Honor series, and had a lot to do with a really larger-than-life hero. I think that would probably make it. Any of them would probably.
Yeah, that was a great one, though. That definitely stands out to me. Let's see. Oh, someone has some like social media questions that were interesting. They want to know, do you prefer Facebook or Twitter over one or the other? They know that you're pretty active on both, and do you think one of them is more effective or in reaching fans?
I'm actually active on Facebook, but my Facebook posts automatically go to Twitter. So it's active, and it looks like I'm I do get on Twitter each day because when my Facebook posts go to Twitter, people sometimes reply back or leave comments. I try to check every couple times. Because if someone takes the time to write to me, plus a lot of times it's fun. Every so often you get stung. You see you or someone reads your book and they tag you on it to make sure you know. Every so often you see that, but that doesn't part of it, and all the other nice comments, to me stand out more so than the ones I was happy with. So yeah, I'm active on both, but I would say I'm definitely far more active on both.
Excellent. Lana wants to know, have the locations you've lived in or where you write, have they shaped you as a writer and as a person?
Um, I very much like being near nature. So my house
Mhm.
at home, we have a very large pond in the backyard, and my desk is always safe
Mhm.
so that I could. And I want to say we could see the deer and the wild turkeys and the fish jumping in the pond
Mhm.
and the occasional fox and coyote. So I like seeing all of that. I really
Yeah.
see at the lake. I'm at my desk actually right here at the lake, so I can see it and see the fish jumping and that bird feeding right there. The fishermen going
It's
by and the kids
gorgeous.
swimming in the.
Yeah.
I very much. But I think my love of being near nature was because growing
Mhm.
up, my mom and dad had a small shack
Ah,
Kentucky on a lake, Williamstown, Kentucky. That's all of us sort of woke up in the morning and left that swimsuit on to bed that night. We just lived that way, barefoot and in the bathing suit. Pretty wonderful. I always liked it. So they weren't wealthy. It wasn't a fancy house.
yeah. That's amazing. Do you think that if you were if you had to be put in like a city environment, it would be harder to write, or do you think it's more of a challenge?
Well, I think I'm a survivalist, and that sounds terrible. So I don't mean it that way. I've never had a hardship. I'm fairly pampered. As far as my writing goes, I mean, I've written in the airport. I've written any
Yeah.
place in a hotel room, any place I need to write.
Mhm.
I very much have a preference for. I'm not a big traveler unless it's like casual travel,
Mhm.
fun thing. But as far as like traveling, go on book tours and stuff, I will when my publisher asks me to. But it's not something I look for. I like to be at my desk. But I like either facing my pond or facing the lake. So I think I could write anywhere. I could. As far as an author goes, I'm a traveler.
Mhm.
I would figure it out. But certainly not. Not that I don't like the city. I would want to
Yeah. I think that the mark of a true writer, perhaps, is you could write in the hotel when you need to, and you kind of just have to,
don't want to miss
gotta
the
get it done.
deadline.
Yeah. So we're coming towards the end of our time, and I think I've gone through most of the questions that are the most pressing. Um, so do you want to just tell us what you're working on next? Just refresh our memory.
Amanda, can I answer one last question I see that says, did you get to be there for your cover photo shoot? All those hunting men here.
Oh,
That
go
is a
ahead.
big old no. That's a big old no, and I wouldn't want to be there. It would embarrass me for sure. I would not want to see you guys have to try to pose in some provocative way for a cover. That would just be red faced at the time, probably hiding my eyes. Uh, so then I do get cover approval, so they'll send me. What
Yeah.
happens is they'll send me a cover concept of what the cover
Uh-huh.
is going to look like,
Right.
and I get to see how that's going to be, and then they do the actual cover shoot. That's on single titles, not on.
Mm-hmm.
So they put it all together. They take the picture, title, and my name and whatnot on. Those again.
Very interesting.
Um,
Wait, what?
it went off for a second, but it's back. I caught it quicker that time, I think.
Oh, good, good, good.
So
Are there any other questions that you see? Let me know if you see anything here that you want to answer, and I will absolutely put
your
it
thing's
through.
not going to want to stay in.
I know.
Got my hair on it. Maybe my hair will help hold it in.
Oh, Amanda has. Who's your favorite heroine? Because we've talked a lot about the men. So, what do you think?
My
Who's your
favorite
favorite
heroine
lady?
is actually from not even in romance. Gabby from my servant series, which was Urban Family. She was a very, very kick butt heroine
Mm-hmm.
who had a special ability from God. She could look and see if someone was evil or not. So you always hear the story about the kindly grandfather, and nobody suspected he was a serial killer. Gabby would have known. when she looked at people, she saw them as they really were, not how the rest of the world saw them. And I
Yeah.
always really liked her a lot. She was one of my favorites. Because I like those kick-butt heroines, that's probably why Arizona was the other one.
Yeah.
She was very much a kick-butt heroine. You can't write a whole
Um,
lot of, that's one of those stereotypes. If you write it once or twice, it feels overdone.
exactly. Someone has a question about like the tone when you're writing. She says, when you're writing your books, do you read other authors' novels, or do you feel susceptible to take on their tone? I always wonder that. Does reading too much kind of influence you one way or the other, or?
I think it can. If I'm reading historical novels,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes historical references will slip into my book by accident
Yeah.
because I thought it was an awesome phrase. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
So I have to be and that's my favorite thing to read is, actually I just finished rereading a bunch of Garwood's old ones that are favorites of mine. I did
Cool.
that after I finished one book and before I started another. I gave myself a week, a couple of her books. I wouldn't. So I,
Just
I
to wait
think it
before.
can if I'm not careful, but
Yeah.
overall I don't think so.
Yeah. Make
Because
a
if
little time pass before.
right, if
Yeah.
you're into your own book enough, and I think
Mm-hmm.
like at night when I lay down to go to sleep, it's not the book that I'm reading that I'm thinking about, it's the book.
Mm-hmm. We have a question about an author you really love who inspired you to start writing. Do you have anyone that comes to mind?
Stella Cameron will always be ultimate hero.
Mm-hmm.
She's someone I met back when I first started with Harlequin writing category before I had ever
Mm-hmm.
sold, and she's got a local back many years. She and I kind of hit it off. There's people that I never see her anymore, but when we do meet, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like the years haven't passed and I just saw her. Um, she very kindly said, you run home and get whatever you're working on. She did, and said, she encouraged me, you'll absolutely sell. You'll do very well in this business. The category editor at the time, who had not yet bought my book, and I had,
Mm-hmm.
back then, you had to print it out, mail it in. You literally waited 7, 8 months, and they would ask for
Right.
revisions, write them, and then you'd wait another 7 or 8 months. And I had just
Hmm.
turned in like the third set of revisions. The editor was there, and said, "Well, we haven't quite made a decision yet." And Stella said, "Well, I think I'll send it." It
Huh.
apparently was not with Harlequin, and the editor said, "No, we're going to buy it." So that was how I found out that I was going to sell. Was by Stella Cameron,
Wow.
sort of very nicely, subtly saying, I'll put you somewhere else, and it'll always be mine.
That's so neat. Um,
Awesome lady.
so we have, oh, I'm sorry, did I? Um, Sean wants to know, what advice would you give someone who had a good idea for a book but wasn't sure where to start in the writing process? We'll do that as our little wrap-up question.
I think you have to start wherever you want to start it. Whatever the scene is
Right.
that's most prevalent in your head, you sit down and you start writing. There's no magic way to get going.
Mm-hmm.
Find your own flow and the way it works for you. I can tell you how it works for me, but how it works for me is not necessarily how it will work. Everybody
Right.
has ideas. Everybody has ideas. I
Absolutely.
can't tell you. My dentist, my gynecologist, everybody I know has a book idea. They just do.
Oh,
I
wow.
want to say, I have an idea. I thought about writing a book.
Yep.
Everyone has an idea. Thinks about writing a book. You have to actually, you have to find the
Mm-hmm.
process. So my suggestion would be to sit down and figure out your process. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big believer that it has to be the right time.
Yeah.
Maybe someone can't get going, maybe it's just not the right time. Maybe it's not
Good
right,
point.
but maybe you are, and it's just not.
Yeah. Must be the right point in your life. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lori. This has been a great round of questions. And I just wanted to remind everyone there's the Book Shout promo giveaway on BookTrib. So just check out Lori's live chat page. You can see that. We're also doing hard copy giveaways and some other goodies. and it was lovely chatting with you again. We always enjoy it immensely.
Thank you so much. Loads of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a great day. Bye,
Thank
Lori.
you. Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.